You know, guys, I honestly can't believe it's time for another weekly roundup already, and I'm going to put it on the record one more time. I really think that time is trying to play tricks on me. Because on the one hand, these weekly roundups, they come and go pretty quick. It feels like the weeks are just flying by. But then on the other hand, it feels like Donald Trump has been in office for 10 years, but it's only been 16 weeks, which means he's got 192 weeks left to go. And if you're counting down the days, it is 1,345 days until hopefully he voluntarily leaves the White House. But it is that time of the week where we gather up a whole bunch of random clips. They don't necessarily touch on any particular topic, but it's kind of a way for us to wind down, maybe have a laugh or two, and maybe make light of the whole mess that our country is currently in. So without further ado, let's go ahead and kick things off with this clip. Here is Dr. Oz saying it is your patriotic duty to be healthy. If you guys do appreciate my work, please do remember to subscribe.
70% of the money we spend is on chronic illness, and we're not getting our money's worth. So for folks listening right now, it's your patriotic duty to be as healthy as you can, and it's our job to help you get there, make it easy to do the right things. At the same time, we've got to make wise decisions because we're stewards who have to protect the money for the population that Hubert Humphrey described.
I just find it so hilarious that he's saying it's your patriotic duty to be as healthy as you possibly can, and he's sitting right next to the anti-vaxxer in chief, right? You got RFK there, the Health and Human Services Secretary, who's been going around, can't even commit to saying that the measles vaccine is safe and effective. And then he goes on to say that, well, you know, we've got to be a good steward of the money too, because as you guys probably know, the Republican budget is cutting $715 billion from our Medicaid program, which means it's going to throw millions of people off of their health care. Is that the patriotic thing to do, is throw the poorest among us off their health care? Seems pretty patriotic to me, no? Let's go ahead and move on to Caroline Levitt saying that how could you possibly think that Donald Trump is trying to serve himself?
I think it's frankly ridiculous that anyone in this room would even suggest that President Trump is doing anything for his own benefit. He left a life of luxury and a life of running a very successful real estate empire for public service, not just once, but twice. And again, the American public reelected him back to this White House because they trust he acts in the best interest of our country and putting the American public first. This is a president who has actually lost money for being president of the United States. I don't remember these same type of questions being asked of my predecessor.
They weren't being asked of Joe Biden because Joe Biden wasn't going over to Qatar and accepting a $400 million plane that is going to have to be retrofitted, spending millions upon millions of more dollars that the American taxpayers are going to have to pay for. Oh, and then he's going to go ahead and transfer that plane to his presidential library so he himself will be the only one that benefits. And that's not to mention that he and his family have made $1 billion per month since Donald Trump has been in office. That's right. They have made more than $3 billion since his inauguration. To think that Donald Trump is not, benefiting from the office of the president, enriching himself off the office of the presidency, I mean, it is the most laughable thing that you could probably say about Donald Trump. He is the most corrupt president that our country has ever seen. Here's Laura Trump trying to say that, well, why didn't anybody else try to, deal with these tariffs?
If it's so easy to go out there and negotiate away these tariffs, why didn't anyone else do it? You know why? Because it took guts. It took somebody like President Trump who's willing to put his neck out, who's willing to do finally the right thing for this country. He's not ever been bound by lobbyists, special interest groups. He's only been bound to we, the people of this country.
What is she talking about? Who was the person who went out there and decided he was so infatuated with tariffs, he had no understanding of what a trade deficit was, he had no understanding of how tariffs actually work, and he went out there and put on these astronomically high tariffs anyway? Who was that? Oh, that was Donald Trump, right? So past presidents, there was no astronomically high tariffs that they needed to make deals about, right? This is all Donald Trump's doing. To think that Donald Trump is doing something special by working out all of these deals after he created this whole mess in the first place, I mean, these people are insane. But this person right here, I don't even know her name, but check out her little speech on abortion.
We don't need another pro-life bill. I tell you, the state of Oklahoma, we have enough pro-life bills that we could wallpaper the inside of Governor Stitt's mansion. We don't need another pro-life bill. We don't need another regulation. We need to end abortion. We need to make it where a woman, if you decide to murder your child, you're going to suffer the consequences. It's called orange better become your color. That is mercy.
Somebody needs to lay off the caffeine, no? What does that even mean? Orange better become your color. That is mercy, everybody. These women who kill their babies, they need to be held accountable. These people are truly insane. What are you going to say to the woman bleeding out in the parking lot because she no longer has access to the appropriate health care to save her life? What are you going to say to? Does she need to be held accountable? Does she need to suffer the consequences for something going wrong during a pregnancy? I mean, these people are so short-sighted, and it's really kind of a shame that something as important as abortion, as something as important as healthcare for women, it's kind of just put on the back burner because Donald Trump is just flooding the zone with all of this other shit. And I feel like important issues like these, they kind of get shoved off to the side until something really bad happens. And I'm afraid that's what we're going to continue to see with this whole abortion issue because Donald Trump is just, like I said, he's out there flooding the zone with so much important shit that a lot of this stuff just gets shoved aside. Here's Sean Duffy trying to say that, well, it would have been a really good time to fix the air traffic control system, but check out when he says that time would be.
Over the last 4 years, the last administration, they knew this was a problem. And by the way, during COVID, when people weren't flying, that was a perfect time to fix these problems.
These people have truly rewritten history. When were the lockdowns actually occurring for COVID? Oh, that was in 2020, wasn't it, guys? Oh, who was president in 2020? Oh, it was Donald Trump. It was Donald Trump who was president in 2020 when the lockdowns occurred, when nobody was really flying. Yeah, that would have been a perfect time to maybe address some of these issues. And to say that the Biden administration didn't try to address these issues, I mean, that is also laughable. They allocated $5 billion to air traffic control. They allocated another $15 billion to airport infrastructure. What are you guys doing? Because all I see is Sean Duffy running onto all of these Fox News interviews trying to blame the other administration. I mean, these people are absolutely pathetic. In the way that they have rewritten history to exclude COVID from Donald Trump's tenure, it is absolutely disgusting. And a lot of people, they just have either let the history be rewritten or they just don't care enough to actually go see what the actual truth is. It is truly shocking. Here's Sean Hannity, maybe projecting a little bit. See if you can catch it.
But despite a slew of recent accomplishments, groundbreaking diplomacy, the legacy state-run media mob still managed to find their new obsession, an offer from the government of Qatar for a Boeing 747 jumbo jet to serve as Air Force One.
So did you guys catch it? It's the state-run media mob who has a new obsession with the 747 Boeing that Donald Trump wants to receive from Qatar. Who does he think is in office? Donald Trump is the government right now. It is the Trump administration. You, sir, are the state-run media. You are the one who is in Donald Trump's pocket. You are the one who is pushing his propaganda no matter whatever it is. You are out there running defense for Donald Trump even after he is ignoring Supreme Court orders saying that Kilmar Abrego Garcia needed to be returned home. And your network is saying, well, actually, these people don't even deserve due process. You guys are the state-run media. How is it that these people can still try to blame, like MSNBC, CNN, NBC, whoever they want to blame, trying to say that they are the state-run media when Republicans control the presidency, the House, the Senate, the Supreme Court? What the fuck are these people talking about? They are truly delusional. Here's Donald Trump, kind of figuring out what free trade is all about.
And we I think, convince them to let's have peace and let's go and make trade deals. If we can make trade deals, we like that much better than nuclear weapons.
I find this so hilarious because how many times have we tried to explain what free trade is all about? You know, us having economic ties with China makes us less likely to engage in warfare with one another. That's kind of one of the premises of free trade. We want to make sure that we are cooperating with other countries, whether it be economically or otherwise, to make sure that there are less incentives to fight each other. Donald Trump has been raging against that idea, I don't know what, for the past decade or so, and he finally figured it out. That, hey, well, if we do trade deals with these guys, well, that would be so much better than shooting missiles or nuclear bombs at one another. Good job, Donnie boy. You finally figured it out. That's what free trade is all about. That is what cooperation between countries is all about. Oh, geez, these people. Here's Marshall talking about Medicaid protesters. You might be able to guess what he is going to say.
Doing everything we can to make Medicaid more efficient and preserve it for their future. My guess is they're probably hired to do that to some extent as well. And regardless, I just salute the House. They're making progress. This is tough work. It's tough work up here.
Do you think these people are ever going to learn? We see Republicans, you know, running to their town halls all across the country, bitching out their congresspeople because they are pissed off at what this Trump administration is doing. And what do the Republicans do? They say, oh, paid protesters, paid agitators, paid Democrats. And now you've got the Republican Party with their budget bill about to, you know, throw millions of people off of their Medicaid coverage. And then you got a protest on Capitol Hill, and it's the same thing. Oh, these people, they must be paid. How is it even possible that people would be angry or upset that millions of low-income people are about to be thrown off their health care? Oh, that couldn't possibly be, right, guys? These people are so pathetic. I feel like, I don't know, we're just playing on repeat. These are kind of the same excuses that they were using back in 2017 when the whole healthcare fight was going on then. Oh, it's just a whole bunch of paid lunatics or whatever. Hopefully, they continue with this logic, and hopefully, they are severely punished in the midterms, in 2028, and beyond. Every single Republican should be voted out of office, especially for how they are trying to kick low-income people off of their health care. Every single one of these assholes, they need to be replaced. And let's go ahead and move on to this last clip. And I just want to make sure that we are messaging in a way that resonates with people. We have to point out all of the harm that this administration is doing, but we also need to make people remember that Donald Trump is also enriching himself. We have an oligarchy of sorts, and Jim McGovern kind of hits on that here.
And there are millions of families in this position, folks who paid taxes and played by the rules, expecting that their government will help them if they fall on hard times. And you guys want to tell them to all go screw themselves. It is so out of touch, it takes my breath away. You guys make Marie Antoinette look down to earth. Donald Trump's cabinet is like an episode of The Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. These people are totally clueless. They don't shop for their own groceries. They don't buy their own food. We have members of Congress who sit in their nice, fancy offices, get driven to work by their staff, and never have to worry about anything. And they simply don't understand why a 63-year-old factory worker who's been breaking his back for 40 years lifting heavy equipment can't just go out and get a new job when he gets laid off. This bill gives that worker 90 days to figure it out before he goes hungry. I mean, seriously, what is wrong with you people?
Yeah, that's exactly right. What is wrong with these people? I think it is so important that we point this out, and we keep pointing out, and we keep on hammering on it and hammering on it and hammering on it. Because what we have with the Trump administration is we have Donald Trump, who, like I said, who has enriched himself by at least $3 billion using the office of the president ever since he got inaugurated. We have all of his cabinet members. We got Scott Bessent, a billionaire. I mean, billions upon billions of dollars make up Donald Trump's cabinet. And then they are going around, they're cutting Medicaid, they're cutting food stamps, they're cutting medical research, they're firing federal employees, tens of thousands of them, they're shutting off money that they don't. they are doing so much damage to some of the least fortunate among us, all while using the office of the president, using the force of the American government to enrich themselves. We have to continue to point this out. It is so disgusting. And I heard somebody put it, I think probably the best way that you can put it. You have one of the wealthiest men in the world. I think they were speaking about Elon Musk, and he is killing the poorest people in the world, the poorest kids in the world. And that is exactly what we've got going on in this administration. They cut off USAID. There is estimates that millions of people are going to die from that. It's also gross. America used to be viewed as a force for good in this world. Now China has taken our place. I mean, it is beyond wild. So I do think we need to continue to point this out. We need to make sure that people know that this is the most corrupt administration that we have ever seen. They are doing a whole bunch of damage to the poorest among us while they are enriching themselves, their families, their buddies, and it is all just gross. This is not what America is supposed to be. We are supposed to have a government that serves all of the people, not just a government that serves the wealthy few. But that is what this Trump administration is. So I definitely think it is important that this is the type of rhetoric we use moving forward. We need to continue to point this out to people because it's just not right. It's just not right. So those were the clips that I had for you guys this week. Like I said, these weeks are just flying right on by. It is so insane. Although, like I said, feels like Donald Trump has been in office for 10 years already. It's just all weird. Time is playing tricks on me. That's all I got to say. So I hope everybody has a good weekend. I know there's just so much news coming at us all the time. Hopefully I'm here to make a little bit of sense of that with you. And I hope these weekly roundups, if for nothing else, at least provide some levity in the chaos of it all. So I hope everybody has a good weekend, and I will see you guys next week. So I will leave it there for now, guys. If you guys got anything out of this video, please do remember to smash that like button and subscribe. Maybe share with a friend or two. I'd very much appreciate that. We are trying to build something here on the left that adequately pushes back against the right-wing media ecosystem that just shovels shit for Donald Trump every single day. So if you do like what I do here, please remember to hit that subscribe button. It is free. And if you guys want to see how ports are now becoming empty in the wake of Donald Trump's tariffs and how we are all about to experience some of that pain, go ahead and watch that video on the screen now. Otherwise, see you guys on the next one.